So in less than 1 month, Kobbie Mainoo has gone from holding the bench at Manchester United to being one of our most influential players. He was key to Manchester United's win against Fulham. He was our lovely connecting player between every phase. His pass map almost sums it up quite nicely. He's not particularly active in our penalty area or the opposition's penalty area, but everything in between Kobbie had covered. Now I did a video on the team performance yesterday assessing how Manchester United played against Fulham and how we got the win, but I actually made a comment about United not being amazing in this game. I wasn't overly impressed by the team performance, and I've watched the game twice since then, and I still feel the same way. I don't feel that United were amazing. I think Fulham also played a very good game. I probably should have given them more credit yesterday. I think they were fantastic. But I don't think Manchester United were amazing, which is almost what makes Kobbie's performance even more impressive. The fact that he was able to be influential in a game where United weren't so good, I think really, is a credit to him as a player. The fact that he can go from not playing all season to starting 3 games in a row, playing every single minute, and playing even when United weren't amazing, I think is fantastic. And Carrick made the comment after the game about Kobbie's ability just to cope. There were moments in this game where United were under pressure. There were moments where Fulham was sort of playing through the phases quite easily, getting towards the final third. And whilst I never really felt that Fulham were a massive goal threat because our deep defence was quite good, Fulham were often on top, and you could sense sort of the nervous energy a little bit in the crowd as Fulham were looking to build momentum. So for Kobbie to be that player that could bring control, that could cope, I think was fantastic. Now, there was a spell of play that for me summed this up better than any other moment in the game. It was around the 52nd minute and Fulham were on top at the time. Now again, I didn't necessarily feel that they were offering a massive goal threat, again because when we were deep we defended quite well, but they were on top, they were progressing the ball forward regularly, they were moving forward. United was still very robust, very strong in a tackle and kept repelling all of the Fulham danger, but United couldn't really get the ball down. Casemiro here just sort of very easily surrenders possession and gives it back to Fulham. Now I'm not trying to criticise Casemiro, I think he was fantastic again, but we could see in those moments United struggling to look after the ball, which means that Fulham pick the ball up again and then just another wave of pressure comes towards our goal. And that's when you need someone like Kobbie, his composure, his calmness, his relaxed feel on the ball. He's someone who will take a touch in any circumstance. He always plays the match at his speed, and I think that's very important because after that wave of pressure from Fulham, a tackle is put in and Kobbie Mainoo picks the ball up, and I just love here he just takes the extra touch, he slows himself down and then just plays a very simple pass to the right hand side. Now I'm not saying that that is the best pass you are ever going to see, but the point is statistics don't pick up that influence. That moment where Kobbie just slows down when the rest of the team has rushed, he just takes that extra touch, he settles himself, he looks after the team and then picks out a good pass. Now following on from that pass, United go on to have a 2-minute spell of sustained possession where we play well, we pass the ball well, we lose the ball, we regain it and eventually score a goal. So I think it's very important pointing out that Mainoo at the start of all that brought the calm which allowed the forwards to then excel. Now, I personally love the way that Kobbie Mainoo controls the game. I think his ability to slow the game down is very important to Manchester United. But there are people who demand a little bit more, and I think that's fair. We know he's got a lot of ability, a lot of potential, so we want to see a bit more from him. We want to see a bit more progression, I think, especially. And in this game, from Kobbie Mainoo, we saw that. We saw him almost level up his performance on the ball, which is what we expect to see over the coming weeks as he gets sharper and sharper, more up to speed. He improves and he develops as a player with his coaches. And I think we saw in this game a Kobbie Mainoo that wanted to play on the front foot, a player that wanted to take a very positive first touch and at every opportunity possible get his head up and try and play forward. This is 4 minutes into the game and it sort of sets the stall for what Kobbie is going to do with the rest of the 100-minute performance. So he's in the middle of the park and he receives the ball. Now this is nothing amazing, but I think it points to what he wants to be as a player because his first touch is positive, he's aggressive, he wants to take the ball forward. You can see Jimenez racing towards Kobbie Mainoo to try and put him under pressure, but Kobbie is aware of where that pressure is coming from. He's aware of the direction that Jimenez is running, so Kobbie takes his touch back across the other way, basically to disrupt the momentum of Jimenez. This now means that Jimenez can't get the tackle in on Kobbie because he's got to decelerate before changing direction. So it's very clever from Kobbie. He sort of manipulates the player before just laying the ball off to Casemiro. This is pretty simple. A couple of seconds later, the play advances and we've got Kobbie in the middle of the park. And this is what we're talking about. That first part of play was control, it was looking after the ball. This part is being progressive and speeding the team up, because whilst Kobbie doesn't have the ball, he's scanning, he's taking in information, he has a look over his right shoulder and he's going to see Ahmad on the right wing. Now we can't see him right now, but trust me, he's there, and Kobbie already knows that he's there. That means that when Kobbie receives the ball, in this position here, he only needs to take 2 touches. 1 touch to take a good first touch, and then the second touch to release that ball wide. That's what we're talking about by progressing the ball and playing with speed. And it's because he already knew Amad was there long before he got the ball. Now, what I really liked was that he built on that throughout the rest of the performance, and almost every touch that Kobbie took was a forward one, was a progressive one. He was constantly playing his game with his head up. He was always looking for a pass. He was always looking for a player in space. He has been accused at times of playing a bit too slowly, of playing too safely, too many sideways passes, but that was not the case in this game. And really, his first touch is setting up everything. Every time he was taking a first touch, he was taking that first touch with the foot furthest away from the player that passed it. So Lisandro Martinez passes from the left side here, so Kobbie takes the first touch with the right foot. That basically means he's allowing that ball to roll across his body. And because his body is always open, that means he is going to end up facing forward. And Kobbie did this with almost every action in the game. Head up, where's my next forward pass that I can play? Again, in this position here, he's dribbling forward with the ball. Not once does he even look down at the ball. He doesn't look sideways. He doesn't look backwards. His head is up the whole time looking forward. He continues to dribble. Head still up looking for an option, and that's why he is able to find a space on the far side. Again, Kobbie receives the ball, this time from Lomans in goal. Through the lines, Kobbie receives the ball on his back foot. So body open, taking the first touch furthest away from where the pass came. And for Kobbie, that allows him to open his body up, take a good second touch to move the ball forward, and now he can progress, this time into Casemiro, who now can move the ball further forward. This one is a little bit different from Kobbie, but the intention is still the same. Harry Maguire with the pass through the lines. Kobbie on this occasion knows that he can't take the touch across his body because of the pressure from Iwobi, but still Kobbie is very clever. He goes and meets the ball on this occasion and uses his body fantastically to hold Iwobi off. Iwobi's a really strong player, but here Kobbie doesn't have a problem with that because Kobbie is physical. He's physically strong. He protects and looks after the ball fantastically. But again, the idea is to be progressive. Most other players would have just knocked that ball backwards, back home because he was under pressure. But Kobbie wants to move forward. Now, something else that Kobbie did fantastically in this game was utilise his long passing range. Now, those of you that watched a lot of Mainoo in the academy would have known that he's got this in his locker. In the first team, we probably haven't seen it enough, but in this game, he attempted plenty of long passes and also completed plenty of them as well, which was really good to see. And tactically, it was almost vital to everything that Manchester United were trying to do. We spoke about the other day the importance of getting tension on the opposition's back line. For these opposition defenders to have as many different decisions to make, because the second they're trying to make loads of decisions, they're going to make a mistake at some point. And Kobbie, of course, combined with the forwards, did a really good job of asking those questions, of providing that tension on the last line. For example, here, Kobbie trying to lift the ball over the defence, trying to play it over Fulham. That puts tension on the defence, because if they know you can clip a ball over the top, they're worried they might have to drop just a little bit deeper. In the next moment, though, Kobbie with the long passes, switching the play relentlessly in this game. So picking the ball up and spraying it out to the right side. And again, it puts a lot of tension on those Fulham defenders because they're all over one side of the pitch like this. And then when you play that big switch, Robinson has to get out. And if you watch the distances here between the Fulham players, it stretches, right? It puts that tension on the back line. Now, the centre-backs might move across, but suddenly those gaps are a little bit bigger than what they were just a moment ago. And that's because Kobbie, and again the positioning of the forwards, is creating that tension on the back line. So to see Mainoo playing in that forward way, wanting to get the ball forward quickly, wanting to make the pitch as big as possible is great. We've seen for a long time now that he can dominate small spaces. He's absolutely fantastic on the ball and off the ball. Small spaces, Kobbie's got it on lock. But to see him utilising those bigger spaces a little bit more was absolutely fantastic. You know, we know that he can go and play in the tight combination. We know that over here, when the play is really condensed, He's fantastic, right? With his footwork, with his ability to manipulate, to shift the ball. We know that he can do that. But to then see him opening up that big passing range to the far side as well, it made this, for Mainoo, a complete performance on the ball. Now, I said it after the City game, and I'll say it again. The fantastic thing here is that Kobbie Mainoo is just getting started. He's still not fully up to speed. He's still not fully up to the sharpness. There's a couple of loose passes here and there, which we expect to see. But I think Kobbie Mainoo was fantastic in this game. He showed a real composure which was a little bit lacking throughout the rest of the Manchester United team. Again, it was a bit of a nervous energy because we knew the importance of winning, and crucially, we did get the win. But there was a bit of a nervous energy to the way that United were playing for a lot of this game. There were those loose passes, but I felt that more often than not, Kobbie took the extra touch and looked after the ball. And it's just that second of delay that he puts on the play, which just allows the team to breathe for a second. It allows the team to build confidence because suddenly they feel that they can play on the ball. And we've seen over the past 3 weeks, when this team plays with confidence, they're a real beast, to be honest, and can be an incredibly dangerous side. And I think Mainoo in midfield really led all of that in this game with his calm, with his composure, but also those progressive actions, always getting his head up, always trying to play forward, taking the ball on the back foot, allowing him to progress. I think his energy on the ball, his skill set on the ball was crucial for us in this game. And I also think defensively, he was pretty darn good as well. I think he put in a very good shift. Lots of blocks, lots of tackles. So all round, a fantastic performance for Kobbie Mainoo. But believe me when I say this is just the beginning. He is just getting started. We have not even scratched the surface of what this man can bring to the team. So fair play to Michael Carrick for getting him straight back into the side. And fair play to Kobbie Mainoo for settling so quick. Like, he's just gone straight into the team and looks absolutely fine. He looks like he's been playing every week, which is great to see. Long may it continue and actually even get better, which I think it will. So yeah, it's great to see, and it's great to have as a Manchester United fan. So that's why, again, for the 3rd week in a row, I've got this big smile on my face. But we are now going to finish the video there. So thank you guys very much for watching this one. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like, subscribe, and get your notifications on. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.